Good morning. It is Sunday, April 22nd, 6:30 a.m. And this morning we get to do a filter cleaning. So I figured I'd take you along on the ride and show you how that's done. You can kind of take a look inside the filter, see how it works, get an inside view of it. So this is the fish tank. It is overflowing currently right now. I've lost probably about 100 gallons so far. The reason being is because the filter has become so clogged up, so backed up with fish effluent. It's impeding the flow in the uprising of the water through it. And since it's just gravity flows into the filter, that means that this is just going to keep building up more and more and more until it starts to overflow. I checked it out last night and I saw that the level had begun to rise. That's usually my signal letting me know that, okay, it's time to clean out the filter. The water level is starting to rise in the fish tank. But I figured it'd be fine tomorrow morning. Obviously, I was wrong. So before I lose any more water, let's get this thing cleaned out. All right, step one. Unplug the pump so water stops filling the fish tank and overflowing. So I keep all my plugs and my outlets, everything in this waterproof outdoor box. And I made a nice little handy dandy marker on my pump so I know right away which one it is because there's quite a few, as you can see in there. So just like this. It's unplugged and the pump's off. This is the heater. It's cranking away, doing its job right there. It's got it right at the 65 set temperature. It's working good. All right, so as you can see, we got some fish poop overflowing here. Here's the fish tank. Now you can see how full that water is. Typically the water is going to exit via that horizontal pipe right there going out of the side of the fish tank. It's about probably 4 inches above that, actually almost going over the top of my little T, the breather pipe there, so it doesn't create a siphon. Needless to say, it's really full. It's backed up. So what we're going to do is take this valve, close it. What that does is it prevents more water from flowing down into the filter. So now I can isolate the filter and just begin working on cleaning it. So come up here, take the lid off, take a look inside, and that's what we're going to be working. So first thing we're going to do with this is get this bucket and start draining the 30 gallons of water that are inside of it. So all the system water that is produced via my aquaponics system is put to use. So a couple things we can do with this wastewater. We can take it, we can irrigate some of the soil plants, some of the fruit trees in the back that aren't on the drip irrigation. Or two, we can put it in an offline mineralization tank. What that's going to do is essentially the same process that happens in the media bed, we're going to do in a controlled environment. So it's just going to provide a lot of surface area, a lot of aeration, ideal temperatures for these beneficial microbes that'll take that organic material produced by the fish waste and convert it into plant food. But for right now, for today in my backyard, we're just going to put it in some of our fruit trees. Let's go do that. All right, we'll give the avocado tree a little love right now. Now these are on some drip irrigation, but it's nice to just do a little soaking with some of this water from time to time too. Give some to the peach tree as well. And I'll just go through and water the rest of the plants in the backyard. All right, filter is drained. So now I can start taking this Metalla filter media out and begin cleaning it. So it's just there's 4 layers of it, and they're just kind of pressed down in here. So stick my finger in there, get this first one out. As you can see, the top one, it's pretty dirty. Not that bad though. Obviously, the higher you go up, the 4th, 3rd filters in the stage, they're not as dirty as the first one. And how I have it arranged, I have these top 2 are actually this gray, which I believe is like one of their medium densities. So I'm sorry, it's one of their finer densities, so it's going to trap more finer particulate. And then the ones that I have on the bottom, the first ones that the solids pass through, are their blue filter material, and those ones are not as dense. So it's kind of going in stages. You're getting the big particulate first, and then as it goes higher, it becomes finer and finer, so it's trapping smaller and smaller particles. But as you can see, this one's not too bad, so we'll go ahead and start washing. All right, so I got a little, it's a plastic mud tote, I think from Home Depot. This is what I wash out all of the screens into, so that way it allows me to trap all the solids. Then I can take them, put them in a bucket, and again, go give them to all my fruit trees. So we don't have any wasted material in this process. Having the right tool for the job is always of the utmost importance. So make sure you have your really awesome and manly purple spray nozzle attachment. Help you get the job done right. What I'm gonna do is just spray from the top down. So the water typically rises up from the bottom of these filters. So I'm just gonna spray from the top down, just pushing it all back down the way it came, and just go one by one and rinse them all out. All right, so there it is, nice and clean. 3 more to go. All right, so if any of you are knowledgeable with aquarium maintenance and upkeep, you'll know that any literature you read when you clean an aquarium saying when you're cleaning out your filter, don't use your regular tap water because it has chlorine in it. When you clean out your filters, it can disturb the beneficial microorganisms, your nitrifying bacteria that are converting that toxic fish waste, the ammonia, into nitrate. And that's true. And in this media, I'm sure I'm disturbing them to some degree. There are a lot living within all the surface area of this filter, but this isn't my primary biofilter. I have the 32 square foot media grow bed that's providing more than enough biofiltration capacity. So if I'm disturbing some of the nitrifying bacteria, that's fine. It's not going to affect my system really. All right, so we're getting down to the blue filters now, which the first 2 filters that I have down at the bottom of the filter unit. It's the first 2 filter stages that the fish solids pass through. This is it's the either the lowest or a medium grade metallofilter media, which what that means is it's not woven as tightly as some of the other ones, so it's only able to trap pretty large particulate. Whereas when I get to the top 2 filters, these 2, which I already cleaned, so we have the gray metallofilter media, and so this is a much tighter weave, so it's able to trap a lot smaller particles. So you put the coarse filter first, traps a lot of the heavier stuff, and you put the fine filter on top of that, and that's going to trap any remaining smaller particulate in the water column. All right, it's getting pretty full. I'm going to take some of it, move it into this bucket, and go take it, and again, go water some more of the fruit trees in the back. Fish tank farmer's walk with fish poop to the front yard. So when I'm irrigate all the fruit trees in the back, if I have anything left over as far as this fish filter, poopy water, take it and I give it to all these plants up here in the front. Not as important as all my fruit trees, my plants in the back that actually produce food to eat, but still give them a little love. Oh yeah. This is the last filter. This is the very first one that it goes through. The last one I'm going to clean, and this one's always nasty. I think I give you a shot of me pulling it out here. It is heavy. Take a look at that. That is gross. It's that weird, like, mucus, snot-looking stuff. I want to assume that's a biofilm that's growing. You can see kind of some of the uneaten fish feed right there. Kind of looks kind of sandy and grainy. You can see all the actual solid fish poop. So this one filter, this is the first one. It's one of the coarse filters. It's doing the heavy lifting of the system. It's picking up the bulk of the stuff going into it. The other ones were dirty, but nothing compared to this. All right, it's now time to clean off this nasty last filter. So a good point to make while I'm cleaning this here, as you can see, all the heavy fish poop, the big pieces on the bottom. This is a good opportunity to talk about the system design and where to put your filter. So when designing a system, you never want to pump into your solid filter. You always want a gravity flow into it when possible. And the reason being is when you pump into the filter, that water and all the fish poop within it is going to have to be passing through the impeller in the pump. when it passes through the impeller, it's like a giant blender. It's just chopping all those fish particulates up into really, really small pieces. So the smaller the pieces are, the harder they are to remove from the system and to filter out. So in my system, we have a solids lift outlet that lifts off the bottom of the fish tank, and it just gravity flows to the bottom of the solids filter. And as you can see on the bottom of this, there's all those really heavy, huge, big, long, solid fish turds still 100% intact, because all they did was just flow via gravity through the piping to the bottom of this filter. And that's ideal. That's how you want to design your system. All right, so now that we got all the filters cleaned out, just gonna spray out the inside of the tank here. Get anything off the bottom. All right, we got the 4 filter elements nice and clean. Inside of the tank, it's nice and clean. You can kind of see on the design there, we got the 2-inch pipe coming in. There's a 90. And so the idea with that is, so the filter media is going to be sitting directly on top of that. So when the water flows in, it hits that wall and then kind of disperses out back and around. So the idea is just spread out those solids as evenly as we can across the bottom, so they all rise up evenly and you don't get an accumulation in any one spot of the filter media. So let's start putting them back in. All right, so we'll put the blue or the coarser filter elements in first. Then we'll go with the gray or the finer filter element. All right. So filter elements are back in. Everything's ready to go. Now it's time to open the valve and let the water start flowing in. It'll take a couple minutes for the water start flowing up through here. Then I'll go turn that pump back on. All right, water's almost there. And now it's starting to flow through. So now we got nice clean water, clean filters. Everything's back up and running. All right, there you can see, pump's back up and running. Water's entering the fish tank. The water level is much, much, much lower than when we saw it first thing this morning. See, it's just sitting right on the top of that horizontal pipe right there coming from the solids lift outlet. So that's right where it should be when the water is not being impeded by backed up fish poop. Goes down. There's the filter working as it should. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this, but this is looking down the top of the solids lift outlet. So you can see the water, it's coming up from the bottom of the tank, and then it is passing down this pipe here into the solids filter. All right, so that's it. That's all that's involved in the filter cleaning. All in all, it took about 45 minutes, 60 minutes or so. So it's about an hour to get it cleaned out. It's not too bad. And I'm doing that about once a week. I do have a really high fish stocking density in my system, so a lot of poop being produced. So in a more average system, just as one fish tank, a normal biomass of fish load, maybe once every couple weeks or once a month or so, you should be doing it in your aquaponics system. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm going to end this with a nice little swim with the fish tank. So enjoy. See you guys in the next one.